Hey guys, welcome back to the Piston Show. I'm Keshi Dillon. Today we have here with us the latest facelifted Honda Civic RS. Now this has been updated to and designed to make your life easier and more comfortable behind the wheel. And it also offers exterior updates that make it look a lot better than the previous generation model as well. I consider it to be the darling of the Malaysian automotive segment, simply because there are a lot of people that aspire to own this, and after driving it for the past couple of days, I understand why. The Honda Civic has always been one of my favorites, and this has just gotten better. It's priced at 167,900 ringgit. However, there are just 3 things that it needs to perfect the Civic package. What are those 3 things? Stick around and I'll tell you. So what's new with the facelifted Honda Civic? Well, the front end is all new. The front bumper is all new. You get this gloss black honeycomb grille over there, and the entire front bumper has been redesigned. And if you didn't already know, there's one key way that you can tell whether this is a hybrid or a petrol version, because all hybrid Hondas have a blue hue around the emblem. So if you didn't already know, that's how you tell apart a hybrid Honda from a non-hybrid Honda. And then from the side, you get this matte grey rims, 18-inch rims that are wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. Great tires, but I do have my reservations about them, which I'll talk about later. You get this gloss black side view mirror as well. You get a shark fin antenna. This is basically carried over from the previous generation model. You get this boot spoiler, gloss black, finished in gloss black as well. Smoked out tail lamps. And one key thing that I really like and appreciate about the Honda Civic is the fact that you don't only get a usable boot size, but you also get a spare wheel. Now this, personally, for me, is important, because the last thing that you ever want is to be left stranded by the side of the road with a tire repair kit. So this, usually hybrids don't come with a spare wheel, but the Civic does, and for that I'm grateful. I think you should be too. So that should be a key purchase decision if you're in the market for a car of this segment. Anything that comes with a spare wheel, go for that. Now the interior of the Honda Civic may look the same as the previous generation model, but there are important updates over here that are designed to make your life better, such as the fact that it now comes with wireless Apple CarPlay. Wireless, guys, and it also comes with Android Auto as well, but it being wireless makes life a lot better. Now, because it's wireless, you also get a charge pad, so next time you want to charge your phone, you can just leave it over here, which is brilliant and just designed to make your life better, particularly behind the wheel. Now, besides that, it's also been updated with Google Assistant. So check this out, show me the way to IOI City Mall.
IOI City Mall is 6 minutes from your location by car in light traffic.
Start now. I just have to press start now. But anyway, you get the jazz. It's all designed to make life better. And because it comes with Play Store and such, you can also download some apps and all. And I really like this because I rely on Google Maps much more than I do on Waze. So for me, this is a key update. I like wireless Apple CarPlay. Now let me just explain why I like wireless Apple CarPlay. Because if you have your phone connected to it all the time, it's just going to deteriorate the battery of your phone because you're always charging it, right? So if it's wireless, in that way, you can sort of not charge your phone and use Apple CarPlay at the same time. So I listen to a lot of music on Apple Music, on YouTube Music, podcasts and such. And the fact that I can do all of that without, overcharging my phone is just brilliant. So wireless Apple CarPlay is important. Now, besides that, There's also one key update over here for the facelifted Honda Civic, and that is the drive mode. So you usually get 3 drive modes: in Sport, Normal, or Econ. It's been there since forever, right? It's been there for a very long time. But for the new Honda Civic though, you get a new mode called individual mode. Now, individual mode is quite cool because it lets you customize certain things about how you want the car to feel. So things like the powertrain, if you really always want it to be at an edge, you can, or you can put it in normal mode. Steering, you can make it feel normal, so lighter, or if you want more control, you can leave it in sport mode where it's heavier and gives you better control of the car. The engine sound, you can have it in normal or in sport. Let's always leave it in sport. Engine mode should always be in sport. Engine sound, I mean. And even the gauge, right? You can have it in sport, in normal or in sport, but the only thing that changes is the background color of the digital gauge over here, the digital instrument cluster. So if it's in sport, it's in red. If it's in normal, it's in blue. So these are things that let you interact with the car at a more intimate level. I like the fact that I can customize how I want the throttle to feel, how I want the steering wheel to feel, how I want the engine to feel, and how I want the engine to sound like. I like little tiny details like that. Anyway, other than that, the interior is basically the same as the previous generation model. Now, there's one thing that I have to point out to all of you potential buyers out there. If you are in the market for a Honda Civic and you're torn between the RS and the flagship petrol version, the V-Spec. Now, there's one thing that you should look out for, and those are the seats. Because these seats are nice. There's no doubt that they're nice, but I personally feel that the seats on the V-Spec are more comfortable. They're plush, they're thicker, they're nicer. So over long distances, I think the seats on the Civic V-Spec would serve you better. But these, the padding is slightly thinner because it's an RS, right? So I can live with it, but I just think that the seats on the V-Spec are nicer, more comfortable. Other than that, the interior of the Honda Civic RS is just brilliant. It has always been like that ever since the latest generation Civic was introduced. But with these key updates over here, individual drive modes, wireless Apple CarPlay, Google Assistant and such, everything is fantastic. I haven't checked out the back seats though. Let's go. Check this out, guys. Check out how spacious this car is, right? And I like how comfortable it is back here because the seat at the front is adjusted to my driving style, and I'm about 6 foot tall. So even then, I still have a fist amount of knee room between my knee and the seat up ahead. So in terms of spaciousness, comfort is top notch. You also get twin air conditioning vents and 2 Type-C USB ports. So there's no fighting for cool air, there's no fighting for charging ports for your kids. And if you have younger kids, you're going to appreciate the fact that it comes with ISOFIX mounts at the back over here. What more could you want in a car? Powering the Civic RS is the same old 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. It offers 184 PS and 315 Newton meters of torque. This is a smooth operator simply because it is a nice balance of power and efficiency. In fact, this is designed for efficiency. Right now, the onboard computer is telling me that I've done 18 kilometers per liter. What more could you want in a car? Like, you have power, you have a nice comfortable interior, you have good looks, and you have efficiency as well. Now though, I'm just going to re-explore how it drives. Let's go. So the Honda Civic can be regarded as one of the darlings of the entire automotive landscape in Malaysia. I think it's a testament to your success and to your taste in cars. Of course, You have all of the, BMW M's, Mercedes AMGs and such. But if you're working up the ladder of life and if you can afford a Honda Civic, it means something. It means that you are a hard-working person, you have goals in life, and you appreciate the finer things in life. The Honda Civic basically is the ultimate testament for the working man. I think that there's no other better way to define it. This is a great, great car. And it's not very cheap either. Give and take a couple of thousand ringgits, this is basically a car that costs 170,000 ringgit. But I think, as I've said earlier, this is worth every single cent. And everything about this car says something. Honda has put in a lot of effort into the Civic, into making the Civic everything that it is today. It drives well. You get, particularly in this hybrid version, you get good amount of power. It accelerates well. It's comfortable. You get space for the family. You get a nice entertainment system. You get a bunch of electronic safety nets. What more could you want in a car? Because the Civic offers everything that you will ever need. But there's a couple of things that I need to point out. I think that, for one, these low profile tires can be a little bit too noisy. So you are always hearing the noise, the tire roar back in the cabin. Now, I also do know that the Honda CR-V RS has noise cancellation technology. I think they should use it in here as well. I'm not sure if they do. I don't think that Honda does, because I can hear all of these cars around me, but not in the CR-V. I think the CR-V offers better refinement. So in that sense, I think that if Honda could trickle down some of that tech into the Civic RS, this would, in terms of refinement, it would be brilliant. In terms of handling, it's already there. It's a nice handling car. Whether you're stuck in traffic or whether you're on the highway, it's comfortable as well. If you are in traffic, it has the low speed follow function, if I'm not mistaken, with this adaptive cruise control, and that just makes life better behind the wheel. And the other thing that I think would be better for the Civic is if it came with blind spot monitoring system. I know for a fact that Honda Malaysia is aware of that. Honda generally is aware of that because the Southeast Asian market is the only Honda market that does not come with blind spot monitoring. Instead, they are still, marching along with the lane watch assist. Lane watch assist was probably great about 10 to 12 years ago. It was fantastic when Honda first introduced it. It was revolutionary, groundbreaking and such. Back then, everybody was like, whoa! And then blind spot monitoring came along, and blind spot monitoring just made more sense, because lane watch only tackles the left-hand side of the car. And what about the right? And that's where I think blind spot monitoring will do a better job. The holy grail of safety systems when it comes to blind spots would be to have lane watch assist with a high definition camera on both left and right, as well as blind spot monitoring. I think if ever Honda was able to do that, that's it lah. Everybody can just go back home. I think that would be brilliant. I doubt that they would do that, but blind spot monitoring is going to trickle down to our Malaysian Hondas very, very soon. I just drove the Honda EN1, Honda's first ever EV for the Malaysian market. I just drove that a couple of days ago, in fact, and that came with blind spot monitoring. So I know for a fact that Honda is working on it. Honda has taken your feedback. Honda is learning, and Honda is going to be delivering. And then the other thing that would certainly make the Civic a little bit better it's not a deal breaker, but it's just going to be better, is if it came with a powered tailgate. It needs a powered tailgate because Honda is generally moving up market. Everything about, I mean, if you compare the previous generation Civic with this, I mean, take away this emblem and blindfold somebody who's not familiar with cars and such, and I can almost guarantee you that they will not believe that this is a Honda, because that is how well Honda has done in terms of improving quality, design and such, even the tech that it offers inside its cars. So I think Honda deserves credit over there. And in that sense, because it's moving up market, the technology that it offers in its cars also has to move along. And that is why I believe that the Civic is great already, but it just needs a couple more things to perfect the recipe. It's like having very nice spaghetti bolognese with big chunky meatballs, but all it needs is just a little bit of salt to perfect the taste. And that is what the Honda Civic needs. Just 3 more things and it'll perfect the package already. Powered tailgate, blind spot monitoring, and just a tad better refinement, because right now you hear this tire noise. If you want to move up market, you isolate yourself from the world outside through better refinement. Other than that, this is a fantastic car. It's also incredibly fuel efficient, man. But particularly with the Civic RS. I mean, that's all the Civic needs. Done deal. So 167,900 ringgit for the Honda Civic RS variant. It's still a very, very nice car and an absolute it's still a very, very nice car, and for me it's absolutely worth every cent that Honda Malaysia wants for it. I just think, as I've said earlier, I just think that the 3 things that would perfect this package. The first thing being blind spot monitoring system, which I know is going to come soon. And then there is the tires, which make a little bit too much noise, so better refinement would be great. And then finally the, what was the final one? Blind spot monitoring, refinement. And the final thing being a, what do you call it? What do you call the power bonnet? What? The boot? A power tailgate. And the final thing being a powered tailgate. And these 3 things, if they were available in the Honda Civic, it would just perfect the package. But knowing Honda, all their cars are being refined as they go through their life, and knowing Honda, all their cars are being refined as they go through their life cycle. So it's just a matter of time until the Honda Civic is just perfected. Now, it's about 95% perfect, those 3 things, and it'll be 100% perfect. 167,900 ringgit, an absolute bargain if you ask me. Thank you for watching, guys. Do consider subscribing.